Hey everybody, I'm Tyson Durfee, and this video is all about how I've made millions of dollars with brand deals by companies paying me to wear these logos on my shirt and also to post on social media. So if you're one of those people who want to learn about how to get companies to pay you to post on social media or how to build long-lasting relationships with companies, then you will not want to miss this. If you don't know me, before I get into how I've made millions of dollars with brand deals, my name's Tyson Durfee. I'm a world champion rodeo athlete. I've been a businessman, an entrepreneur, been focusing mostly in my life on athletics and how I could be the very best athlete that I want. Then I transitioned into entrepreneur who had multiple businesses, and now I'm transitioning into an individual who wants to share this knowledge because I'm tired of seeing people who are broke all the time, especially when they don't deserve to be and they don't have to be. So it all starts back in 2012. I came off one of my rodeo seasons and it was terrible. I had one of the absolute worst seasons of my entire professional rodeo career. And it was at that point I was like, is everything happening to me? I now don't have any money. I'm technically considered professional as an athlete, but I am broke. You see, rodeo is a lot like NASCAR. Imagine a NASCAR team where they didn't have logos on their shirts like the NASCAR guys. Imagine they don't have any sponsors. What happens? They don't get to continue competing and going to the races. The same thing with rodeo. You see, rodeo, there's earnings that you win by competing and winning, but then there's also earnings that you get from sponsors or brand deals or partnerships. And the true athletes that have long-term staying power learn that they need avenues of income from both sides. So I come off the 2012 season. I finished 17th in the world standings, which is like, we consider the crying hole, is barely missing out on the National Finals Rodeo, because at the National Finals Rodeo is the top 15 in the world. It's the place where most of the athletes have the chance to earn all of their money for the season. Just to recap that, if you finish outside the top 15, your chances for money on that season are pretty much over and you're losing money on the season. If you qualify for the national finals, you have an opportunity to go to the finals and earn like 2 times or 3 times the amount that you would earn the entire regular season in a 10-day period. So all the money for rodeo athletes boils down to making the finals. Well, in 14 years consecutively, I missed the finals only one time, and it was 2012. And this is one of the best things that ever happened to me, because at the end of 2012, I was broke. I didn't have any money, and I didn't really have any brand deals or any sponsors. And so I went to my girlfriend at the time, my wife. I was like, hey, we need to figure out how to get sponsors, right? So I need to continue going down the road. And we had started posting on social media and doing some of the stuff. We started reaching out to some people and doing things on social, but you know what? It didn't make that big shift in our life at that moment. Well, when I came off the 2012 season, because we were flat, broke, we had to dive in and focus on building these relationships, executing on trying to find sponsors and getting brand deals for posting on social media or wearing this bright pink shirt at rodeos. And so that's exactly what we did. We came off the season 2012, it was going so bad. My wife and I teamed up and we said, we are gonna go get brand deals. We are gonna go get sponsors. And just a little context from this, when I came off the season in 2012, I had about $20,000 worth of brand partnerships, roughly, okay? Now, fast forward by taking action and doing the things that I needed to do in 2013, I went in ranked 2nd in the world in the standings, and I got $165,000 worth of brand partnerships that year. So I went from $20,000 in one year by focusing and really diving into it, going to $165,000. Now, think about this in your life. What would an extra $140,000 look like for you? And I'm here to tell you, you don't have to have a bright pink shirt or be a world-class athlete or anything like that to get brand partnerships. The way that you get brand partnerships is by providing value for companies. And if you hang with me to the end of this, I'm going to show you exactly a 3-step approach that allowed me to go from $20,000 to $165,000 in 1 year, and then over the course of the last decade, earn millions of dollars with brand partnerships. So because we had come off the season and I hadn't won a lot, we really focused on making money because we were literally at zero. I remember at the lowest point, granted, at that time, I was one of the best ropers in the world, but I only had about $700 to my name. I had a lot of money on credit cards and a lot of money financed. I had some real estate and some stuff that was paid for, but I didn't have any cash in my pocket, and I needed to make money fast. So what did we do? My wife, who actually has been in the music industry for many years, back then she was my girlfriend, she says, hey, let's do this little thing called email. And I'm like, wait a second, email? Like, that's never gonna get me anywhere. Like, who does email? And to be honest with you guys, in 2012 going into 2013, I didn't even know how to send an email. That's where I was at. I was nearly 30-year-old athlete and I didn't know how to send an email. So trust me, if I can do it, you can do it. So what we did was we put together a script. Basically, a script is an outline of who I am, what I did, how I could provide value for the company. And we started hitting up like everybody we could. We Googled as many emails as we possibly could find, and we just started blasting this email. Yeah, we would make them personalized, we would customize to a person's name, or we would do this or that. And that really, for that instance, was the key to everything. That's basically how I went from 20 grand to 165 grand in that 1 year with sponsorships. Now, I want you to think about how this fits in your life. You know, back in those days, we called them sponsorships. Who can sponsor me? And that sounds like, I need something, I need something, I need something. But the truth is, when we're talking about brand partnerships, and I like that so much more, is because it basically means if the company gives me a product or cash or a service, then I will trade advertising to them. So you have to look at these brand deals as a partnership. You want to give to them as much as they give to you. And that's how you create long, sustaining partnerships. That's exactly what I've done. Now, there's three main things that I want to talk to you about brand partnerships. Number one, do not get scared of the word no. A lot of times when I was reaching out to these companies many years ago, like, it just wasn't the right timing. Maybe their advertising budget for the season was over and I reached them the last quarter when their advertising budget was already full and they'd already made their plans. So the timing wasn't right. And they would say no. And instead of like listening to that no and being like, they don't like me, or I'm not good enough, or I can't make it, I decided, hey, well, I'm gonna hit them back up next month, and then the month after that, and the month after that, and the month after that. And by not being scared of no, it allowed me, number one, to approach more companies, but to then follow up. I mean, so many times we're trying to get brand deals and we send one DM, or we send one email, or we send one text message, and we don't get anything back, so we're just like, they must not like me, I'm done. That's not the case. Your message may not even have gotten to the right person. Sometimes you have to send 10 messages or 100 messages out or 1,000 messages out to get them to want to work with you. Now, one company in particular, Cinch Clothes. Cinch is an awesome company. I've been with them for many years, but in the beginning, they didn't want anything to do with me. I just didn't register on their radar. It wasn't something that they seen my brand fitting theirs at that time. I never got upset about it. I just consistently stayed in their ear. I would send an email, I would meet somebody, I would be super polite. I always still wore their clothes because I love Cinch Clothes, like, I just love them. And I wasn't like, just because they're not gonna sponsor me, I'm gonna wear somebody else. Or I'm gonna take the company that will just give me a shirt or pair of jeans. I was strategic at what I wanted, and I consistently, for years, stayed after this company to sponsor me. And guess what? Finally, after about 3 or 4 years of consistently being a good athlete, of consistently showing up, they decided like, hey, this guy is the real deal. So they gave me a deal. So the number one thing is don't be scared of no. If you hear no, just think to yourself, this is one more no in pursuit of the yes that I am after. The second thing is, within that number one thing of not getting scared of no, if you're not scared of no, then you just reach out more. You're reaching out consistently. Like, day after day after day after day, you just work it into your daily routine. I'm gonna DM 10 companies on Instagram. I'm going to send out 20 emails to people who could potentially sponsor me or do brand partnerships with me. Keeping that consistency and that cadence, showing them that you love their product above and beyond, and that you're not just selling out for the cheapest thing or selling out who will give you something. The truth about building relationships with brand deals is them knowing that you love their product hands down and that you would use their product even if they weren't paying you. If you stick with me to the end, I'm gonna give you one massive pro tip as to how you can get the eye of some of these companies. Number two, you have to command some eyeballs. If you dream of getting brand partnerships, you have to be known for doing something. So if it's your first year or 2 years or like first couple posts, you're probably not gonna get a lot of brand deals. Getting brand deals is all about commanding eyeballs. So were you a good athlete or a great athlete? Do you say compelling things on social media that drives eyeballs, that drives attention, that drives engagement, that drives comments? Do you put out content that people know, like, and trust And so if you mention a product that you absolutely love, they would take a look at it. Do you command eyeballs? Are you somebody that's one day posting about Coca-Cola and the next day posting about Pepsi? Can't do that. Commanding eyeballs means that you have to treat those people like your family. Like right now, you're watching this because you either clicked on it or you found it, or you like me, and maybe you came over from my Instagram to my YouTube or wherever you came from, but you know, like, and trust me, and you know that whatever I say, I'm honest and sincere in that. So if you get a brand deal, know that when you command those eyeballs, you can't just be like, hey, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, or promote competing products day after day after day. It doesn't work that way. People won't think you're credible, but you have to command eyeballs. Now think about it in your life. What are some things that you can do to command eyeballs? What are some things that you can do in your business to get more attention? What are some things that you can do to stand out more? I would ask you, are you living your truest purpose? Are you living yourself? Because if you're trying to fake it till you make it, that only works if you make it. Most people that fake it till they make it actually never make it. They're just fakers. And people look at them as hypocrites. So don't do that. The last thing that I would tell you, and this is number 3, and I talked about it a little bit on number 1, outreach. Outreach, 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 and follow up. Just get in the game, man. If I was to say to you, hey, let's go play basketball, and the first time you shot a basketball, I like swatted it down, you didn't make a hoop, would you just quit, or would you like figure out how I can get the ball in the hoop? Chances are you're gonna figure out how to get the ball in the hoop. If you're a kid and you're just learning to walk and you fall down the first time, you're gonna just continue crawling for the rest of your life, or you're gonna pick yourself up and figure out, okay, I need to figure out how to walk sometime. And so at your core, you have to understand that outreach is the key to success with branding. Do not, again, do not, I'm reiterating, number 1, do not be scared of the word no. Most people, when they hear no, they think, oh, it's over, my life sucks, nobody likes me, I'm not good enough. Don't let all that internal chatter into your brain, because brand deals means that you must be confident. You must be confident in your actions. You must be confident in moving forward. You must be confident with people not agreeing with what you're doing and still go out and crush it. People want people who are living in their purpose. I've said it many times. If you were living in your purpose and your passion, people will follow you. If you're living a fake existence of your life, nobody's gonna follow you. So you gotta figure out how to find that purpose, find that passion, push past any of the negative things that creep into your head, because at the end of the day, if you want brand deals, if you want to be successful, you must follow your passion. You see, I love meeting people. I love signing autographs. I love inspiring, pushing, motivating people. I'm now entering into this phase in life where I love sharing it digitally in long form content. And you know what? I understand, because I'm nervous doing this. It's not natural for me. I've never done long form content in my life. So I understand how you might feel when you're trying to approach 10 companies and they all say no via DM. I understand how it feels to like strike out, time after time after time after time after time. My superpower, and I hope this is your superpower, is that you can just keep chipping away, keep chipping away, keep chipping away at that stone until you create a masterpiece. And the truth is, if you want brand partnerships, if you're a rodeo athlete or any athlete, or you're just an influencer on social media, that you do the outreach, that you're not scared of no, that you have value to add to these people. And make sure you're just not jumping ship from one sponsor to the next sponsor. My thing is, with brand partnerships / sponsorships, I want long-term consecutive relationships year after year after year after year. I don't want to have to renegotiate a new contract every single year. I mean, there should be escalators in the contracts. They should go up over time as the trust in each other builds, but I don't want to have to go find new sponsors every year. Most of the people that are on my shirt, actually, maybe everybody on my shirt, has been with me for years. So understand that if you're trying to do a brand partnership, understand that it's best to have long-term goals in mind. And it's good on their end, because they don't want to have to jack with some new influencer who doesn't produce the content, that the content is not good, that talked to hype up but then couldn't deliver. They want to deal with you. Somebody who is willing to post on their behalf, be creative on their behalf, have good quality content on their behalf, so that they don't have to worry about it anymore. So get out there and hustle those brand partnerships. Now, The number one thing that I told you that you can do, the trick, the hack, and I've got a lot more, link below in the description. I have a whole little tutorial about how to get sponsors. I would implore you to click on that link, drop an email in there. I will send you a free course on how to get sponsors. It's a little more long form. It's way more in depth than this one, and it will just help you get the ball rolling to get some brand deals, to get some sponsors. So click below. So the number one thing that you can do, if you are trying to get a brand deal, you have to follow the company. This is very basic. For example, you're on Instagram. I'm gonna tell you how I got close to a lot of companies. You're on Instagram. You follow the company because you like them. You use their product. It's something that you love. You start posting in your story consistently about that product for like a month, 2 months, 3 months, something like that. Then as your audience builds and as you're getting more well-known on social media, then you send them a direct message saying, hey, I posted a few times about the product, absolutely love it. You guys keep crushing it. I love what you're all about. And if I can ever serve you in any way, please reach out. I would love to have some kind of partnership with you. You may not get anything back, but here's the good news. Every time you posted about them in your story, they get a little mention sign. So they can see that you have posted about them 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 times in the message category. So then the next week you follow up again. Hey, last week I posted about you guys again. I love what you're doing. This is the number one thing that I love about this product. And then you tell them, and then follow up again with like, hey, I'd love to talk to you about working together. Is there any way that you're looking for somebody like me to create content based on your behalf to distribute on social media? Oh, by the way, I'll distribute it on my social media. And by the way, I can give you the raw file, the Dropbox link, the Google Drive link to distribute it on your social media as well. And here's the thing that most people miss. You're building up good rapport. People think that once you get 1 million followers or 500,000 or whatever, they just start funneling in. And it doesn't happen that way. You have to build rapport. You have to be well known. They have to know, like, and trust you. And you do that by engaging with them on social media. You tag their stuff, you make posts about their stuff, you message them about their stuff, and you just stay consistent in that message. Finally, one of these days, they're gonna be like, oh, this individual is relentless. They're always helping us out. They're always pushing us. They're always trying to make our product get to more eyeballs. We would love to do something with this. You see, that's called the law of reciprocity. When somebody gives to you so incredibly much that you feel compelled to give back to them. That is the key to getting brand partnerships. The only other way is you're just Justin Bieber, or you're LeBron James, or you're somebody that commands such an audience that's millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions, that they will just come to you. There are people that make that kind of money, that make $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 for one post, but I'm not speaking to those people. I'm speaking to the young entrepreneur slash influencer slash individual that wants to be financially free, that could do it by DMing a certain number of companies on IG to go and promote their product. So again, if you want an absolutely free masterclass about how to get sponsors that's way more in depth, click the link below. I will send you my How to Get Sponsors masterclass absolutely for free. It's in the description. Take action. All right, guys. So if you've liked this, do me a favor, share it with somebody else, like, comment, you know the deal. I'm interested. If you're struggling with getting sponsors and all that stuff, or getting brand deals, like, comment below. I'm gonna start answering so many questions in my DMs. So if you're DMing me and or you're commenting below, I will get back to you. I hope that you go and crush it. Again, my only goal for you is that you go and crush it and make tons of money, so much money that you don't need to worry about money, and that you can help all the charities and things that you're called to do. Guys, I'm Tyson Durfee. Hope you have a good one. Adios.